holidays with us.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays from Gerald Jones Volkswagen.
You can see a lot of like your cars are out there actually hydroplaning. I think it's a dangerous situation.
Mama?
She's on her way, bud.
Hey, hon. It's nasty out there.
Yeah, I'm glad you're home.
Stay safe.
I will. Tell them to save me some.
When others head in, we head out. Dominion Energy.
Our first alert commitment to you is the power of 5 meteorologists. All the tools, the latest technology, and the first team of 5 meteorologists. News 12, NBC 26 First Alert Weather on your side. The First Alert team, named best in Georgia.
A question on the minds of family, friends, and law enforcement tonight. Where is Jamila Smith? It's been a week now since her family reported the Aiken mother missing, and 4 days since deputies charged her ex-boyfriend with kidnapping.
It's not a crime to go missing until we run into something that's nefarious about them being missing.
Now, family and investigators are raising the stakes to find her and bring her home.
That morning. Now, family and investigators are raising the stakes to try to find her. Our Hallie Turner is joining us live in the newsroom. So what are investigators and family asking for at this stage in the investigation?
Well, they're asking for anyone with any information about the suspect, Daniel Harmon, who also goes by the nickname Pikachu, to speak up about any interactions they've had with him in the last week and a half. It's been 9 days since Jamila Smith vanished from her driveway right here on Old Jackson Highway. And while it isn't a crime to go missing, investigators say this case is different.
As this case progressed, we started picking up on those key elements that told us that there's something else that's going on with this case.
They wouldn't confirm what those key elements are, but we know the last time Jamila was heard from was a panic 911 call running from her ex. It ended with him yelling at her to get in the car, and the line went dead. We also uncovered a history of domestic abuse charges.
He does go by the name of Pikachu. So if anybody that's out there that does have some information about Pikachu, which is Daniel Harmon, by all means, give us a call.
Deputies say they are looking specifically for anyone who had contact with Pikachu between December 2nd and December 5th.
We're specifically looking for the times, if they had any contact with him between the time they were reported missing to the time we took him into custody.
And they can't do it without the community.
He has been following up on numerous tips and leads consistently throughout this past weekend, last week. Any little piece of information that anybody can provide us, they didn't even think is insignificant, it could be extremely important to us in trying to find her.
Now, the family is offering a $5,000 reward for any information leading to Jamila's return. And the best thing you can do is continue to share her story. And if you see something, say something.
So important, something that might seem fairly insignificant to you could be the turn in the tides for that investigation.
Hallie Turner in our newsroom. Again, if you have any information, you can remain anonymous.
Well, after a relatively warm keep in our skies, generally sunny into tomorrow, it is bringing that cold air with it, though. You can see up and down the East Coast, many spots are cooling off very efficiently tonight. Have a look at a cold, full forecast for you in just about 10 minutes.
Thank you, Riley. The Columbia County School District passing along some sad news this afternoon. They learned today of the passing of Montrell Rouse Jr., a student over at Columbia Middle School. Just 2 hours ago, we learned Rouse is the same student who collapsed during a basketball game between Columbia and Lakeside Middle back on the 1st of November. The school offering counseling for students and staff to help them deal with the loss of a friend and a classmate.
The death of a missing Barnwell woman is now ruled as a homicide. Investigators say the body of Regina Arroyo was found December 3rd in the North Fork Edisto River near Wagner Highway in the Leesville area of Lexington County. Back on November 30th, she was reported missing. An autopsy was performed last week. Those details are being sealed tight by the Lexington County Sheriff's Office. SLED is also investigating. Months after a raid of several massage parlors in Aiken County, SLED is announcing the arrest of a business owner. They say 52-year-old Ping Tang is facing 7 counts of prostitution. They say between May and December of last year, an undercover agent went to Aroma Massage in North Augusta. Details in the arrest warrant claims the agent asked for a 30-minute service and paid a total of $100. But it was indicted that $40 of that cost would be paid up front, indicated rather. Later, towards the end of the service, service. The undercover agent negotiated a sex act for an additional cost. After reviewing receipts, they also say at times customers over-tipped for service. Investigators also found digital evidence of Tang allegedly promoting commercial sexual activity. They say this arrest is part of an ongoing investigation into allegations of human trafficking at illicit massage businesses in Aiken County. So anyone with any information on suspicious behavior is asked to contact SLED.
Charred and twisted metal, all the remains after a Georgia State trooper crashed into our News 1226 entrance over the weekend. It all started with a chase on Washington Road. Thankfully, the trooper's okay, but officers have yet to find and arrest that suspect who he was chasing. But this crash in a very busy area puts the rules on police pursuits back in the spotlight. Sydney Hood joining us live from Cabela Drive in Gray Ware, where it all ended. And Sydney, what do those state regulations say about all this?
Well, policy from the Department of Public Safety says officers should consider the nature of the offense committed by the suspect and whether there is a danger to the public. Now, we know the suspect driving that Mustang was driving almost double the speed limit whenever the chase started. Now, how it managed to go from Washington Road all the way to the bottom of our driveway, well, that's what we're still trying to figure out.
Let's go back to where this all started on Washington Road. Georgia State Patrol says a Mustang was driving 81 in a 45 when Trooper Tyler Crow flipped on his blue lights to go after the car. The two cars made a right turn onto Alexander Drive, but GSP says the Mustang did not stop, and that's what started the chase. Trooper Crow lost control of his car going around a curve coming onto the intersection of Riverwatch and Cabela Drive. He then drove over the curb before crashing into our sign. State law says officers should consider several factors when starting a chase, including the nature of the offense committed by the suspect and the potential danger to the public if the suspect is not immediately apprehended. The law also permits officers in pursuits to exceed the speed limit and disregard other traffic regulations only if the emergency lights and sirens are employed and the officer exercises due regard for the safety of all persons. We requested Trooper Crow's post file, and it shows he received 8 hours of pit maneuver training in July, 4 hours of pursuit, liability, and due regard training in September 2022, and more than 100 hours of traffic accident reconstruction training.
Now, GSP says this is still an active investigation, so details and answers are still very limited at this time, but for right now, all we know is that no one walked away with serious injuries. There was only minor injuries suffered by Trooper Crow, but other than that, there were no other parties injured here, which, looking at the damage to our sign and hearing the details of this crash, it's really, truly amazing that there were no other parties injured seriously in this crash.
Absolutely, in a very busy area. We're just glad that he could walk away from that fiery crash in a very dangerous situation.
It's amazing that no one was hurt after that.
Breaking news to pass along out of Richmond County. A crash with injuries closing all lanes of Wrightsboro Road and Wiles Road. Augusta Dispatch says this came in just after 5:30. They're also calling this a pedestrian crash, so there's someone involved who was walking along that area. We do have a crew headed to that scene. We're going to update you just as soon as we find out more about that.
After years of complaints of being neglected, the Weed School was purchased back in October with hopes to bring something new there.
The original plan was to turn the school into some affordable housing in the historic Sand Hills neighborhood, but now more upscale plans are surfacing. As Craig Allison shows us, this could have a big impact on people living nearby.
A community passed down generation after generation.
I always remember it as a kid from just riding up and down the street on my two-wheelers or whatever, and actually taking pictures with my family actually in front of the school.
Edward Newsom has lived here all his life for more than 50 years. His home handed down just in front of the Weed School.
Over the years, I've watched the school do different things from when I was younger, but it definitely has declined, and I'm looking for it not to be an eyesore, but something to actually maintain the history of the school.
And a radical change could transform it. An open records request reveals emails exchanged by the Augusta Land Bank following their purchase of the school include plans for a complete revamp, something that could increase property value. Miss Ramsey, who's been here for 70 years, says Sand Hills history includes the elderly who grew up here, accounting for a big portion of the neighbors.
Lunchroom workers, custodians, people could walk to work here. They're only living on Social Security and whatever they have for retirement.
While a new project could bring new attention, it could be too expensive for those who need it most. In Augusta, Craig Allison, on your side.
Now, only the purchase of the Weed School has been finalized. None of these plans have been finalized or approved.
But we'll continue to follow this and let you know what changes. After a year of dreaming, one farm is transforming their space to help foster kids and children with special needs. We have your first look at Cassie's Care Farm after the break.
And we are bringing back some cold temps for the rest of the work week. We'll be down into the 20s over the next couple of nights. We'll have that full forecast coming up.
Time and Temp, brought to you by Jamie Casino Injury Lawyers.
I'm attorney Jamie Casino. If you're injured in a wreck, our team has scored record results in the courtroom, and our Google rating is excellent. Injured in a wreck? Call me right now.
We are excited to announce that the Medicare Specialist is now 64 Insurance Group. And while we've expanded our portfolio to include other health insurance products, we are still your go-to for all things Medicare. Don't wait until you're 65 to call. Are-you64.com.
It's bow tower, but if you're in those city environment, you may only see a few. But we're hoping for clear skies. Right now, we are going with the chance maybe for a few clouds rolling in Tuesday and Wednesday night. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. But for the most part, dry and mostly clear weather through Friday, and then into the weekend. That chance rains back by Sunday.
Last year, we told you about a new rescue in Columbia County called Mad Hatter Farm that helps abused and neglected animals.
This week, they're opening a new addition to help make farm life accessible for everyone. Will Volk has your inside look.
Let's go see the goats. This is a place where you can come and belong, and you're included, and you don't have to worry about standing out, but just belonging.
Jill Marrier sees the challenges firsthand.
With children in wheelchairs, there is a very big limitation of what they can do.
She's a foster parent for medically fragile children, and her biological son, Jojo, uses a wheelchair.
One of my first memories of Jojo, I saw Jill bringing him up for the school bus, and just to see her struggling on the gravel, I mean, this is not something that's easy.
Meredith Hoskinson has worked at Marrier's farm for more than a year. Now she'll guide tours at the new Care Farm, built for special needs and foster kids.
Having this, I think, is going to open the door for so many kids and so many different types.
Marrier worked many late nights with her husband to make it happen.
So there was many times I wanted to give up on this because it's been so exhausting and stressful at times.
But they kept going for Cassie.
We wanted to create a place in honor of her, but to help other children like her.
Her foster daughter died last year. Cassie never got the chance to benefit from this place, but Marrier's happy. Others will.
I wish you could see it. I wish you could have been a part of it because she didn't get to enjoy that kind of life. But I know that in helping other children like Cassie, it's going to be an amazing thing.
In Columbia County, Will Volk on your side.
The farm offers accessible opportunities to touch the animals, to garden, to play in sandboxes. So great sensory, hands-on experiences.
Kind of a magical place for this set of kids, but they're offering free one-on-one farm visits, especially for special needs and foster kids. We have that link to sign up on the website. Swainsboro High School in the middle of a heavyweight state title fight right now over at the Benz in Atlanta. Dan Booth is live on the sidelines for us right after this break.
First alert. YRTV.com. Quick.
Just a quick update to some breaking news we mentioned a few minutes ago. An update on that crash on Wrightsboro Road at Wiles Road. Reporter on the scene telling us that's all been cleared up. But dispatch says it was a pedestrian crash with injuries. Just called in after 5:30 this evening. But again, all those lanes are reopened now.
On your sideline, sports brought to you by the Hawk Law Group.
Good evening, everyone. I'm reporting live from the sidelines at Mercedes-Benz Stadium for the state championship game between Swainsboro and Prince Avenue Christian. Now, Swainsboro's back in the state title game for the second year in a row, getting a chance to have some revenge against Prince Avenue, the same team that defeated them in the state championship game last year. Now, the fourth quarter just started. We're currently in a timeout, and Swainsboro is down by 9, 35-26. This has been a roller coaster of a game, and all eyes have been on Georgia commit DeMello Jones, who has scored all 4 of Swainsboro's touchdowns so far in this game. Now, this team has been dreaming about having the opportunity to come right back to state after that tough loss last year. They didn't feel like they played their best brand of football in the state title game last year, and they've been road warriors the entire season. They have played every single one of their playoff games on the road to this point, including Mercedes-Benz Stadium, where we are right now, where, as you can tell, electric environment to say the least today. These fan bases have been going at it all day long. Now, Prince Avenue has been picking up a little bit of momentum on offense. They did strike first in this game, but DeMello Jones really showed everybody why it's all about the yak, the yards after contact, the yards after the catch, everything by taking a long touchdown all the way to the house. The defense and the special teams for Swainsboro, despite giving up as many points as they have helped them stay in this game as well. DeMello Jones had a 96-yard pick six in this game, and Swainsboro also blocked a punt, which led to another Swainsboro touchdown. We've still got a little bit of ways to go in this game, like I mentioned, early on in the fourth quarter, and it looks like Prince Avenue Christian is in a position right now to add to their lead a little bit. So we're going to find out what happens. I'll have another update at the top of the hour, but for now, reporting from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Dan Booth on your side.
Okay, wishing our teams luck.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
I think it pulled out a victory there in a state championship. And another big story we're following. It's the first time our area is sending a team to the girls flag football state championship.
As Alyssa Lyons shows us, people young and old are cheering them to victory.
Welcome this side to the
It's time to file in, line up. Wish Greenbrier on their way to state. Marching to the beat of their own drum. Give them a sign, a high five or two, to let them know you'll be watching. Their ears will still be ringing.
First we have
Water. Their bellies will be full.
some popcorn.
From home to Atlanta.
It doesn't feel real. Like, I'm still trying to process the fact that we're even going to the Benz. I've never been to the Benz. And I don't think it's something that, like, you can't believe it until you see it. So, I'm excited. It's just like you get that gut feeling, and it's just like it's such a happy feeling that we got here.
The Lady Pack's hearts are full.
We haven't really sat and talked about how crazy it actually is that we're getting to do this.
Greenbrier's flag football team takes on Lithia Springs tomorrow in Atlanta.
Kickoff is set for 11 a.m. We'll be cheering them on.
They got a lot of support.
Yes, Riley.
Over that way.
Luckily, weather's not an issue at the Benz.
Absolutely. It is going to be a cold night, but luckily warm inside the Benz there. But we do have some frigid temperatures tonight, most likely in the 20s if you live away from the city. Have another quick look at that 7-day forecast just after the break.
Celebrating 30 years with Richard Rogers. Happy 30th anniversary, Richard. No matter where.
Biggest check possible. Coming up on the CBS Evening News, a fierce fight over free speech. Tonight, tensions rise on some of America's top college campuses over anti-Semitism. After the UPenn president resigned, why Harvard's president could be next. That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Well, we are expecting pretty cold temperatures tonight into early Tuesday. If you live away from that city environment, we'll be down into the 20s right around daybreak. High temperatures remaining cool with an average in the 50s tomorrow. A little bit closer to 60 Wednesday afternoon. That's when a few more clouds are expected to show up. But for the rest of the week, temps will be just a little bit below average for us. So no big warm up in sight. We are going to see some pretty dry conditions, though. So no rain in our forecast the rest of the work week. Mostly sunny tomorrow, partly cloudy skies Wednesday and Thursday. As we get into the weekend, we've just been locked into the pattern where the rain unfortunately does show up for that weekend forecast. Right now it does look dry Saturday, but keeping the chance for rain Sunday and early next week.
Riley, thanks a lot. Our next live update comes at 7 o'clock over on NBC 26.
Then we're back with more news and weather tonight at 11. We'll see you there.
At the CBS Evening News, we focus on solutions, finding solutions to help people understand what are the right choices to make for you and your family.
CBS Tuesday, NCI at Central on CBS, and streaming on Paramount Plus.
You can see a lot of like your cars are out there actually hydroplaning. I think it's a dangerous situation.
She's on her way, bud.
hours.
Hey, hon. It's nasty out there.
I'm glad you're home.
Stay safe.
I will. Tell them to save me some.
When others head in, we head out. Dominion Energy.
It just keeps getting worse.
Schedule a free home inspection today.
I'm Samantha.
And I'm Savannah.
And we're actual clients of Austin Jackson. A girl ran a red light. A tractor trailer was right beside us, so they hit her, causing her to hit us. We rolled 4 times down Washington Road. Her injuries were extensive, and we really needed not just prompt care, but a continued care plan. Once we met with Austin, I felt really sure that we were going to get taken care of. It was definitely nice knowing that we had someone we could trust, working on our case, taking care of things, and explaining every step of the way.
Get Austin Jackson.
The Augusta guy.
iPhone 15